and welcome back. Welcome back to Shut It. It's been what a whirlwind past 2 weeks I've had. We just got back late last night from Barcelona. It was amazing. It was hot. It was really, 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 really hot. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. It was unbearable. In fact, we stayed in an Airbnb, and the question we should have asked, and I'm just going to say this right now. If you live in Barcelona and you don't have an air conditioner, who are you? What's your problem? Are you mentally ill? Because I stayed at an Airbnb and we just assumed that they would have an aircon. Just assumed because it's one of the hotter cities in Europe. And we got there and we saw a little note that said, we like to be ecological. So we've opted not to have a air conditioner for whatever ecological reasons. Yeah. So we stayed 2 weeks, me, my husband, my teenage daughter, with no air conditioner for 2 weeks. It was hell. I actually went out and bought a fan and just sat my face right in front of the fan. My daughter was in a school program, so she had aircon all day, which was great. And my husband was in front of a fan working from home. And I was in front of a fan trying to do my little writing. And then at night, I would do the comedy shows at the Comedy Clubhouse, which had AC. Even dumb comics get AC, but you do an Airbnb and you don't have an aircon, you're an idiot for not asking if they have. I blame myself, is what I'm saying. I blame myself. Anyway, it wasn't that bad, but it was hot. And I just learned how to just like have a lot of ice. We bought ice packs and just had it in the freezer, and everything was iced coffee. Everything was ice. I rubbed ice on my face. I have welts on my body. I'm going to stop complaining in a second. I have welts on my body you can't see it, but it's like a heat rash. And then on top of all of that, millions of bug bites all over me. Rash, white Irish skin. It doesn't do well in the hot weather. Really gross. I'm still recovering. I'm a bit traumatized. I have a bit of PSTD from all the heat. It's actually, all right, look, I'm an idiot for going to the Airbnb, assuming they had an aircon, which they didn't have an aircon. But the shows were fun. The shows were really fun. The first time I did the show, I can't remember. I think it was a Thursday. And then that was fun. And then I did a Drink, Drank, Drunk, which was really cool. And the people there are so sweet. Everybody was so sweet. They have a lovely comedy community, which is great. I'm definitely going to go back for sure, but I'm not going to go back in the summer. Sorry. I can't do it. I will go back if I have an aircon on whatever. If I have an aircon on me at the Airbnb or whatever, I'm just going to get a hotel room. I'm going, next time I go, I'm going to go by myself. And so I'll just get a hotel room, a nice air-conned hotel room. And that's it. Eat out. The food was superb. The people in Spain are awesome. They're really sweet. Everybody's cool. Everybody's chill. I know there's an election today. I think there's like a huge election that's happening. I think it's turning far right. I think all of Europe is turning far right. But that's what happens. It happens in waves, you know? The left has it for a while, and then they're like, oh, the immigrants. And then the right comes in. And that's just human nature. So I hope it's not a fascist who wins the election today in Spain. But I'm going to say it's probably likely it will be, because everybody's complaining about immigration. And, you know, all the people in Spain are mostly immigrants, but they don't want to remember that. Oh, yeah, that's right. My grandfather's from Algeria or from, I don't know, Colombia. No, they're pure Spanish, right? Nobody's pure Spanish. Nobody's pure American. Nobody's pure Algerian. Nobody's pure African. Actually, they are. Anyway, let's get on with the dumb news of the week, shall we? This one I love. This one, I didn't even read the whole article yet because I love to share it with you guys. Gen Z cries time blindness is being late a real medical condition. This is true. This is true news headline from the New York Post. Gen Z claims time blindness as a new medical condition. Being chronically late isn't just rude or inconvenient, it's now considered a medical condition. A number of medical experts have been labeled the condition as time blindness and associated with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or other mental health issues. That's right. Gen Z gets them all. Gen Z gets everything. Yeah. Oh, you're late? Oh, yeah. The doctor said I have a condition for that. Okay, here we go. Let's finish it before speculating. And while there are strategies and therapies that can help, a few people who say they have the condition insist on being accommodated. Now, a young woman on TikTok has been ridiculed for asking during a job interview, are there accommodations for people who struggle with time blindness and being on time? Do the world a favor and give them this information at every interview you go on, responded one TikToker. I have actual blindness and I'm always on time, someone writes. That's good. Touché. So if you're supposed to get paid on the 1st, but the company struggles with time blindness and pays you on the 30th, is that okay? Another one asks. The woman identified as Sarah Treffrin blamed the mockery on political polarization, adding, I think that a culture where workers are just cut off because they struggle with being on time, that culture needs to be dismantled. She's serious. She's like, F the patriarchy, and I get to be late. That's where we're taking this. We're moving it all. No wonder the fascists are taking over. All right, let's continue. Refusing to yield to accusations of being entitled, a teary-eyed Treffrin said, no, if people think it's okay to treat others like this, that's entitlement. While the comments she received are almost uniformly negative, psychologists and other experts acknowledge that time blindness is a real condition, and for people who have it, everyday tasks can be an uphill battle. Time blindness is a difficulty with the perception of time, how much time has passed, how much time is going to take to do something, and it can be quite impairing to people. Okay, all right. It's a real thing, and it's been researched, and everybody has time blindness at times, says Dr. Michael Manos. Yeah, it's called being late. It's called being not mindful. It's called, ADHD. Everybody has it now. You're just late. How about just you have a phone, put a timer on it, and have it remind you, look, I'm a late person. I'm always late. I always think I have enough time. I don't say, I'm so sorry, but I told you earlier, I have time blindness. And so I should be able to be late. No, it's rude. Being late is rude. It's kind of passive aggressive. I am late. I'm not trying to be passive aggressive. I just sometimes think I have more time than I actually have because I'm optimistic. That's why. That's my excuse. What's your excuse? Put your comments below. Here's the thing. If you're time blindness and you get a note from your doctor and you give that to your employer, if I were your employer, I would say you're fired. First off, I'm not hiring you. Okay? And second off, just put an alarm on your phone. Like for work, that's different. I'm not late for work. Like I'm not late for a comedy gig. I get there way early to make sure I have enough time to see the room, to see what's happening, to see the logistics, the vibe. I'm never late for a comedy gig. Now, for a shitty like Starbucks gig, I would totally be late for that because I don't like the job. But if I have rent to pay, you're going to be on time. And if you have time blindness, then you make sure you put your alarm on your phone or you have some sort of, an alarm that goes, but I have 1 hour to be there. Get ready. Sleep deprivation can exacerbate time blindness. If you're having a lack of sleep and having a lot of changes going on, it's really important to talk to someone about that, says the psychologist. And if those strategies aren't enough, consider seeking professional help. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's why fascism is taking over. I think the reason why the left is leaning more towards the right these days is because we have people like this who have made up diseases. They have made up diseases that don't exist, but they use it because everybody's a victim. Every single person is a victim. Nobody has any personal responsibility. Nobody can be accountable for their absolute self anymore. Everybody has to have some sort of thing where it's, I can't make it to work because my doctor told me I have time blindness. And, I get it now. I get it, Spain. I get it, Italy. I get it, France. I know why. It's not with immigration. It has nothing to do with immigration. You know what it has to do with? It has to do with people keep making excuses and not taking personal responsibility. And that's why we are going into the fascist right-leaning totalitarianism. You know what I'm talking about. That's what's happening. That's what's going on. And I think if we take personal responsibility and not stop making up these fake illnesses, then we're going to be okay. Then we're going to go back to the left. Then we'll be harmonious. I need more coffee. Anyway, you guys, it's hot here too, but not as hot as it was in Spain. Anyway, I have shows coming up next Thursday, the 27th of July at Flanagan's, doing my hour again. It's going to be fun. I have a few people opening, some new people who just came into town. I don't know their names, but they seem like fun people. And so we're going to do that. And then I have shows coming up in September. I'm going to Italy, and I'm not doing any shows in Italy. We're going to go to Italy for vacation next week. So there'll be no shows until September after this show on the 27th. I'm looking forward to Italy. It's not going to be hot. I just hope I better not be hot. I'm going to be so pissed off. Although we're staying like an old stone building, like really like hundreds of years old, this building. So these old stone buildings, they don't need aircon because they are built with like the real ecological, like they did it for real back in the olden days. Not this bullshit Airbnb I went to. This is like a brand new, not a brand new, but it's probably like a maybe 50 years old building. And for ecological reasons, they're not using aircon. That's bullshit. The aircon is not First off, what about humanitarian reasons? For humanitarian reasons, you should have an aircon. Okay? Now I'm on the fence. Should I write a nasty review? Because the house was really nice. Should I write, oh, the house was pretty. However, no pool, no aircon. Everything else was great. But you know what I mean? Like if I had a house and a backyard, like you had a backyard. If I had a backyard, a house in Spain, in Barcelona, I would definitely have a little pool. Have a pool. It was a fancy house. It was like all designy and it had no aircon for ecological reasons, to be ecologically responsible. How about you need to be humanitarian responsible? You need to have responsibility and take care of your human brothers and sisters. And ecologically, ethically, that is that's like a crime against humanity. Renting out Airbnb in your place and not having an aircon in the middle of a heat wave. You should get, I'm not going to put a bad review though. I can't do it because look, I should have asked. I didn't ask. I just assumed. And you know what they say? If you assume, that's right. So I'm not going to do that again. I'm always going to ask up front, do you have an aircon? And if they say no, I'll say no, thank you. This one is not shocking at all. Okay, moviegoer, 63, suffered broken nose in a brutal attack over seat in Florida movie theater. Yeah. 63-year-old had a broken nose. Somebody broke his nose because they fought over a seat at a movie theater in Florida. It's always in Florida. The moviegoer who was brutally beaten over a seat at a Florida theater earlier this month said he suffered a broken nose as his attacker just went to town, according to a report. I couldn't even get a defensive shot in, the man said. It happened so fast, he basically sucker punched me is what he did. The 63-year-old victim, who wished to remain anonymous, classy, and his wife purchased VIP tickets for the movie Insidious, The Red Door. I don't know what that is, but I'll have to look that up. At the AMC Pompano Theater in Florida, which included advanced seat selection. So he got advanced seats, VIP seats, because he really wanted to see that with his wife. He said he politely asked the couple who had sat in his seats to move moments before the confrontation became physical. According to NBC Miami, the man cut his losses and started to look for a seat elsewhere, while the aggressor, he just kept staring. He kept staring. As I'm walking away, he said, "Go run to your wife, little boy," the victim told the outlet. I turned around and I said, "You know, I'm not the one who's being a little boy. You took my seats and you didn't apologize or you didn't say thank you, and I let you keep them." That's pretty classy, huh? I wouldn't be so nice. Witnesses told police the alleged attacker became hostile and aggressive to the point where the two men stood face to face in a heated exchange. The alleged attacker, who wore a black shirt and red shorts, because that's important, we really need to know that, unleashed a barrage of punches as the man lay on the ground in front of horrified patrons, according to the footage released by the police department. He jumped up. He wanted to fight me. He backed me up. I fell over the stairs. And as soon as I fell down the stairs, it was like a boxer being against the ropes. This guy just went to town, the victim told the outlet. What a loser. Ugh. I'm going to put his picture up. What a friggin' loser. In addition to he looks like, he was with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend's like, this date isn't going very well. I don't think I'm going to date this guy anymore. What is his name? I don't know what his name is, but, honey, get out of that relationship. He's no good for you. He's got some anger issues. In addition to a broken nose, the man transported to the hospital where he received stitches. I hope he sues. This guy. The suspect and the woman who accompanied him hastily shuffled out of the theater following the alleged assault, according to authorities. Last month, the moviegoer in New Mexico was shot and killed after a fight over reserved seating. I'm not going to movies in Florida or New Mexico. What's going on? America, don't bring your gun to a movie theater. What are you doing? They should have metal detectors before. That's where it's heading in the States right now. They should have a metal detector before you walk into any movie theater or any sort of arena, any concert, I think they do for concerts. I think they check your backpacks and stuff. Anyway, yeah, that's crazy. I just don't understand how you could go to a movie theater with your reserved VIP seats. You say, "Excuse me, sir, these are my seats," and then he punches you and you have a broken nose. You have to get stitches and go to the hospital. This person is a monster. This man is a monster. I don't really go to movie theaters, not because of guns, not because of violence. This actually happened. This was in New York City. This was a while back. True story. Story time. Gather around, children. So I'm in a movie theater somewhere in Midtown Manhattan. And I'm in the middle of watching one of those, I don't know, it's like a second run. I can't remember. This was a long time ago. Oh, I know what it was. It was terrible. It was a terrible movie. It was Eyes Wide Shut. That's right. It was like a second run, Eyes Wide Shut, and it was so boring. I was about to walk out, but in the middle of the movie, somebody was sitting next to me. Sat down. It was an empty theater. I think it was summer. I think I was hot, and I didn't have aircon back then because I was broke living in Brooklyn. And anyway, blah, blah, blah. I'm in the movie theater watching this dumb movie which didn't make any sense. I didn't like it. But, I had already paid for the half price ticket and had my popcorn, and somebody was sitting next to me. I didn't know who it was. I didn't look. It was dark. And then I heard this sort of scratching, this like rhythmic scratching. And I'm thinking, what's going on? And I turn around. I shit you not. Dude next to me, middle-aged white dude is rubbing one out right next to me. I stood up. And there was like 2 other people in the theater. I should have, you know what I mean? Like I should have been clued in of like the fact that he sat next to me midway through the movie, and he just started rubbing one out. And then I stood up and I said, "You fucking disgusting pig." And then I left, and I went to the lobby, and I told the people behind the popcorn stand, I said, "Dude, there's a guy in there who's jerking off. Kick him out, and I want my money back." And they laughed at me. They laughed. They laughed in my face. They were like, "We can't give you your money back." And I was like, "But why?" First off, the movie sucked. I didn't tell them that. And then second off, the guy was jerking off next to me. And I should get my money back, right? And no, you don't get your money back. I don't know. Maybe you should have guns in movie theaters. What if I had a gun and I would be like, "You better stop"? No, I would not ever do that. I would never get a gun. But I kind of understand why people shoot people. That actually happened. That was a true story. True story. Moral of the story is don't see dumb movies, and don't let a stranger sit down next to you halfway through the movie when the entire rest of the movie theater is empty. Dummy. I blame myself.